Looks like Beam Suntory has done it again. Always pushing the window. I think they've got something interesting here in this Caribbean Reserve rye.
Hey you, welcome back. I am Jonathan J.O. Owen.
And I'm Kitty Kennedy.
Welcome to the channel of the Party Source Reviews. If this is your first time dropping by for a visit, we'd appreciate it if you hit that like, if you like this video. And if you are also very interested in what Kitty and I are doing here in the world of bourbon and whiskeys, please hit that subscribe button and notify yourself with that little bell so you can be notified whenever we go live or do cool things.
Like today. This is going to be fun.
This is a fun.
I'm thirsty too. Did I mention that I'm thirsty? And I'm looking forward to this Basil Hayden Caribbean Reserve rye.
Wait a second. I thought this was Basil Hayden Caribbean rum.
No. It has some rum in it, but it is bourbon. It is a rye.
Okay, so this is actually, this is made with Canadian rye whiskey, and it is made with Basil Hayden bourbon, and it's blended with the rum. Now it does state that it is finished in barrels. Finished. It makes me think it's like the their port barreling when they did that.
Right.
I'm going to reach into this drawer here and I'm going to pull out this comment from when Marty and I did our review over the Basil Hayden port finish. Here you go, guys.
And all I thought was in that drawer was cookies.
No, that's in the other drawer. This, as you can see, this guy actually scolded us because we actually said it is finished in port barrels. Well, we were told straight up from the Basil Hayden guys that yes, it is finished in port barrels and it has port in there.
We have just given new meaning to the I told you so.
Yes. So get out of here. All right. So anyway, I wonder if that guy will ever see this video and look for that one dislike.
I think somebody's going to tell him. I think what I love what I love about this is it's not a traditional rye, and rye purists are going to maybe have some issue with it. But I also love that I think this is what Beam Suntory does. They're pushing the envelopes, they're stretching the boundaries. If you're a purist, you may not like that, but I love challenging my palate. So I'm really excited because I am a rye drinker. So
you do love your rye, and honestly, I can't agree with you more, Kitty. This, I think, we are seeing all these awesome bottles coming out because of the marriage and the Beam Suntory merger, purchasing, all that coming into fruition. We are seeing, rather than just straight bourbon, we are seeing some really cool things from them. And honestly, I can't wait to try this. You ready to crack this open?
I am ready. Did I mention I was thirsty? And I would like to
only
hear,
been saying
it'd be great to hear from the audience what you think about the comments we just made in regards to the influence of the relationship now of Beam Suntory.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the raspberry I just blew there. But she wants to know what your thoughts are about the the relationship. Do you think we'll see some really cool things? What would you love to see? Maybe a sherry barreling? I would love to see a Madeira cask from them. All right. Now let's move on to this tasting. Need a hand?
Apparently it takes two people to open a bottle of Caribbean Reserve rye.
I always just peel that off, but I didn't know that. I never thought to do it like that. Treat it like a wine and just twist it off. Yep, so ready for it?
The sound I always like. Actually, I love.
All right.
Let me take care of this.
Our ode to Marty there.
Always.
Already getting a wonderful smell on this guy. Put him up here.
Colors.
So you ready? Let's get this nose going here. That is an incredibly mild nose.
It is. What's the proof on this? What do we got here?
It's going to be 80.
80
It is
proof,
straight up
so
Basil Hayden.
Okay, so this isn't going to hit too hard. That's interesting too, because a lot of that the finish. Okay, the nose. Wow.
Kind of deep raisin.
Deep raisin.
Yeah.
Dark berries, blackberry, blueberry.
I can see your blueberries. It's kind of a muddled blueberry.
Like a mash.
Yeah. I'm inhaling a little bit much here. Get some oxygen in here rather than some actual alcohol fumes.
Okay,
Not that if I could give up oxygen for alcohol fumes, I'd take that.
With my mouth open, I'm getting an apricot. Wow, that's really nice. It's interesting.
Are you getting a hint of sawdust on the finish?
I think that's more like wet, oaky,
Yeah.
wet wood, wet.
Yeah, she's beating me on the adjectives today.
I've been practicing. This is really delicious. Now it's look at my legs. It's a very greasy looking leg.
It is, yeah.
And
that's probably.
And I wonder if I'm going to get a really good, creamy, palate
That
coating.
is a very good description of a greasy legs. I know I did that earlier, but you can't. We're treating this like we would with our classic Glencairns, where you can actually spin it a little bit harder. But with this, This is a more of a guzzler's Glencairn here. Now, you know what this kind of reminds me of? My adjectives are starting to hit me. A blueberry strudel.
Ooh, that's good. Baking, seasoning.
Yeah, I'm getting the pastry, I'm kind of getting the confectionery, but that blueberry mash now it's becoming a little bit more jammy.
Very nice. I really like this. And here's a surprise. It isn't smelling like a rum to me.
No, the rum molasses is kind of on the back.
It's very much a bourbon.
I am without a doubt getting the rye. The rye is very pronounced in there.
I'm going.
You ready? Okay then.
Wow, is that smooth?
That is really easy. I would have to say that the last two expressions from these guys have been nice, but I was wishing it was a higher ABV. Being cut at 80. This one, I think like the 80 is a perfect sweet spot for this one. And when I'm dealing with Basil Hayden, that is something in which I always wish it was a little bit higher ABV. This one, though, I feel like is really good. And with that, let's give it a little bit of flavor here.
I'm liking it at 80 because there's just enough burn, and this would be a great rye to introduce to people who won't typically drink a rye.
Yeah,
because they get real nervous about that peppery, spicy, finish that's really aggressive. So this sits, real high. But what I'm liking is I got really good flavor, and it's weird. The molasses and the butter, the vanilla caramel, it got lost on my palate. I'm not finding any of that at all on my palate.
Right.
And then on the back, and when I exhale, it came back. Why do you think that?
It's
that's
very
confusing to me.
It's strangely complex. It's like I've never had a Basil Hayden that is this unique. I'm gonna go full on JO and give one of my JO-isms here. So give me just a second here.
It's like watching a
Blueberry
master.
tort, confectionery, kind of reminiscent of a blueberry Pop-Tart, toaster strudel, confectionery sugars kind of turned into a drizzle, very bright blueberry, very bright. Now it's fading into a darker raisin, kind of becoming a cherry fruit, closer to a dark red cherry. The Canadian spice is now building as a pepper on the back. It's warm on the palate, but very subtle, and a light, ever so sweet cream is starting to appear on the palate. All in all, I like this. That's it. Yeah, it's like I hope I see more of this on the market. It does beg the question of are they treating this like they're doing the Basil Hayden port finished, which was they were finishing in port barrels and resting the actual port in there with it. So it's resting in the barrel with the port being mixed in it. Are they doing that same here? Are they resting it in the rum barrel and mixing the actual rum in there? I would love to know that, if it is like sitting a small time in there.
Right.
If not, I know they're like putting the Canadian Club Rye in there with the Basil Hayden. They're resting the two together, and it's like, is it an American oak, a virgin oak? Is it a used Caribbean barrel? Is it a, it's just so many questions I'm curious about. I see you drunk all that, Kitty.
I told you I was thirsty, but I also really, really enjoyed. May I get some more porridge, sir?
Yes, you may. There you go.
Literally porridge.
There you go.
Thank
nice
you.
bit for Kitty there. Okay, so let's give our afterthoughts. And so, what do you think? You know,
this is a win for me, and here's the reason why. It drinks like a rye, not a high rye. I mean, which is a preference for me. However, if I got to compare it to like an Angel's Envy rye, you know, this is going to reach, I believe, a lot more people. One, I think the wording of Caribbean Reserve Rye.
Yeah.
You know, this goes with any kind of food pairing. I'm loving like a Caribbean jerk. This could be used in a marinade. I mean, I could go on. This is a win because they found the right balance.
They did.
Of blending 3 products into something that is really, really drinkable.
I want to put this neck to neck with the Port Barrel rye rum finishing from Angel's Envy, just to see how it works and how good it is. Those are part of my thoughts. I think it has got a sweetness and a dryness. I think it is something in which most bourbon and rye enthusiasts probably could taste and say, oh, that's really cool, that's unique, that's a great twist on a already stable and fantastically balanced product. It's cool to see Suntory pushing the envelope and making something that was, in my opinion, tired and boring, unique and flavorful. But that's me being the flavor nerd and passionate whiskey guy that I am. And as also, I think this would sit very well with not just the established, but the newer drinkers.
Because don't get me wrong, there's some high burn in the finish, but it doesn't. It develops late.
It is, yeah.
And it doesn't continue, really
It's
low.
certainly not like a Wild Turkey burn.
No.
It's not like a Russell Tin
Tom's
burn.
Handy,
No, Tom's
on
Handy.
fire.
Yeah. It's certainly not. It's not even. I'm looking back here. I don't have it back here. I was like, well, here it is. The Peerless Rye Burn, which is excellent. I mean, you're not going to. It is much more savory, more dry. It's not that in-your-face rye.
And the 80
this is
proof,
just
I
good.
think, has a lot to do with that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is not a high alcohol content.
It's like I put some rye that had been port finished and already had my ice cube melted. That's actually a very good description.
That
right
is.
there.
Now, some people would find that to be bland. I mean, which it could be an issue for some people. But then, I mean, it's not yours. There's other ryes out there for
If
you.
it's not for you, it's not for you. But I would say if you see it, get your bottle.
Absolutely.
If you see 2 bottles, save one for the next guy, but buy one for yourself. And the other that I would also say, if you see it at your local bar and you haven't tried it, yes, I think it's worth a shot.
Absolutely.
I recommend it neat, though. Definitely recommend it neat.
I do too.
All right, I guess.
Or in a marinade, apparently.
Oh, in a marinade, yeah, that'd be really good in a marinade. I'd definitely back you on that jerk chicken.
And you know what else? The price on this is great.
What is the price?
Around $45.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, if
I
you
didn't
look
know
at
the
an
price.
Angel Envy rye, it's what?
That's
80,
89, 99, right around there.
$90. So I think this is worth a try.
I'll say, guys, so we've taken a lot of your time here. If you've made it this far, thank you so very, very much. Kitty and I would like to welcome you back next week when we actually do a couple of other fun things, and welcome us on Wednesday nights when we go We Talk Whiskey Live. And we've already asked you to hit that like and subscribe button, share our videos. Tell, what's your thing you like to say?
Tell all your friends.
Tell all your friends. And we just also have to say how much we enjoy you personally coming by and spending time with us. Thank you so much. Cheers.